This is the AM News. To begin with, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is proposing the building of digital repository in all schools across the country. He says the quest to digitalize records of the schools in Ghana will preserve data and help in the accessing of documents by old students. He was speaking at the launch of the digital repository at Wesley Girls Senior High School in Cape Coast. There's more in this report.
The Vice President was excited that Wesley Girls Senior High School found it expedient to collate all the school's data in a digitized form. On the occasion of the first anniversary of his mother's passing, he supported the school with an amount of 300,000 to help build a repository.
This repository will prove to be a worthy asset, as it will help students retrieve their transcripts in record time to enable them meet tight deadlines for applications to pursue academic or other professional advancement. I can assure you that the immense benefits of having information and records digitalized will unfold with the passage of time as the school puts this project into full use. I am hopeful that in addition to academic and other records, the capacity of this repository will be expanded to hold historic documents that will continue to tell the story of the great Wegehe, a story that remains unfinished and which is so inextricably bound to the history of this nation and the history of Methodism in Ghana. As we launch this digital repository here today, it is my prayer that the same is done at all schools, transforming data from paper form to digital platforms and applying other digital compliance systems improves efficiency and makes life easier and better.
Dr. Bawumia also indicated how in the coming days, government intends to pursue the digitization agenda.
I know that many students of our senior high schools, including Wegehe, do not yet have the Ghana card. So far, we have issued Ghana cards from ages 15 and above. But I have good news for you. Starting in a few months, we are going to launch the project and implement the project starting in a few months of enrolling all senior high school students onto the Ghana card. So the process will begin, and interestingly enough, it's going to start in Cape Coast so that we will roll it out to the rest of the country. So we'll be enrolling all the senior high school students, including all the students of Wegehe, onto the Ghana card so that you don't have to go out to apply separately.
Headmistress of the school, Janet Ruby Siame, appealed to the Vice President to help complete some stalled Get Fund projects in the school.
2 Get Fund projects have still not been completed since 2008 and 2019 respectively. And they are a new assembly hall and a 6-unit 2-bedroom staff flat. 2, we need an asphalted road network in the school. And then 3, we need a school bus and a pickup. I know you will do it.
The Vice President was upbeat that government digitization drive will help fast-track the development of the country.
National Communications Officer of the Opposition National Democratic Congress, Sammy Gyamfi, is asking members of the Boono East Regional Communications team to sell the positive message of the party to electorate so the party achieves its objective of winning all 11 parliamentary seats across the region. He made this call at an event in Techiman to inaugurate the Regional Communications Working Committee of the party. Anna Sabit has more in this report.
The Boono East region has 11 constituencies, with the National Democratic Congress occupying 8 parliamentary seats and the New Patriotic Party having only 3. whilst the ruling NPP is doing all it could to maximize its seats. The NDC, on the other hand, is working on its Agenda 1111, where it aims at capturing all 11 seats across the region. The party today held a regional communications workshop where it inaugurated its Communications Working Committee, a group tasked to help sell the party's key messages to the electorates ahead of the December polls. Sammy Gyamfi is the National Communications Officer of the party.
It's all about educating them with the necessary information and facts on the party's messages, the campaign messages, key among which is the 24-hour economy of the visionary nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and other important issues that should be at the fingertips of communicators, as well as the necessary skills and etiquettes that they need to be able to communicate effectively for the party.
Sammy Gyamfi is optimistic that with the shambolic performance of the ruling NPP, the party's Agenda 1111 is feasible and charged the Communications Bureau to work towards achieving this dream.
We want to win all 11 constituencies for President Mahama and our parliamentary candidates. We've done it before and we will do it again, because the vast majority of the people of this country know that this government, this Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, has been corrupt, has been nepotistic, has been very insensitive, and has been a monumental failure. They know that this government is a sham. They are tired of the hardships. These and many more are what convince us that come 2024, December 7th, the people of Boono East will give us an overwhelming, emphatic mandate in all the 11 constituencies.
Some of the officers shared with JoyNews what they learned in the process and how they intend to get the party's messages across.
But today's program has been very insightful and impactful. And so having an engagement with our National Communications Officer through the Regional Communications Bureau, but the information that they have given us today, it is going to help us a lot in the way we execute our work as communications officers. What we've learned today is inspiring, and he has indeed teaching us on, the nitty-gritties of communication, i.e. you making sure that the message that you are giving out is not about you, but it's about the listeners, the audience.
Abdul Wahab Mariam is also a member of the regional communications team. She elaborates how she intends to channel the party's messages to women folks across the area.
As I am a woman, I'll make sure that I'll communicate to the women out there. The 24 hours economy, I have to enlighten them more. I have to let them know the importance of it and also the other messages that she's sharing across the country.
Dr. Awal Mohammed is the Deputy Director for Labour and Industrial Relations for the National Democratic Congress. He admonished members of the party, particularly the communications team, to be calm in explaining the party's policies to enable the area experience peace before, during and after the December polls.
We have talked to our people and we keep on calling on them that we should be calm and that this election is a must win for NDC. And the only thing is that you have to be calm. Even when you are on radio, people will provoke you. Let's try as much as possible to take our time and explain our policy for them to understand.
Anna Sabit, JoyNews, Tichiman.
In other stories, Senior Research Fellow at Nguchi Memorial Institute, Dr. Daniel Ahinfo, has called for community sensitization and awareness campaigns to educate community members on the management and prevention of diabetes, as the condition has become prevalent among young people aged 25 and above. Speaking at the Contextual Awareness, Response and Evaluation Dissemination meeting, he called for community and stakeholder engagement in tackling diabetes and other non-communicable diseases.
I think the importance of research is that it generates evidence, and that at the end of it we should use the evidence to make changes in a way that will be beneficial for our healthcare system, or for the improvement of the people or the community where we did the research. For me, that is the primary thing. The other side of it is that, you see, as academicians, oftentimes our first if you like, one of our key priorities is that when we do research, we want to publish. But I think we have moved on from there. When we do research, When you do research like this, we don't do it for research sake, just to put it in the international community for those who want to read about it, to read about it. When you do research, you should engage with the community of partners, and this will include the ministry, the care providers, civil society organizations, other researchers, and in fact, all the people or all the stakeholders that need the research, just so that we get the right solutions, for the right time and for the right people. We have to find more efficient and effective ways. Again, one thing that came up was the need to raise awareness. Oftentimes we take it for granted, but find efficient ways to continue to raise awareness about the problem in the community. Because other than that, when they sleep over it, they will forget about everything. They will unlearn everything that they have learned. And I think, so sustainability is very important here. So we would continue to engage with the very little resources we have, just to make sure that people understand the problem of diabetes. People are aware of what diabetes is and what it can do to them. But also to do a lot of the more preventive things like exercise, eating well, and what time of the day not to eat and what to eat, etc., etc.
Still on health, medical authorities in the Upper West region are worried about the rise in cerebrospinal meningitis in the area, with 9 out of 11 municipalities recording suspected cases. Some 18 people have lost their lives due to the disease. Deputy Director of Health, Dr. Collins Boateng Dankwa, who disclosed this to JoyNews, said despite the increase in figures, the region has not reached the stage of an outbreak. Rafiq Salam reports.
3 years ago, the Upper West region recorded one of its worst performances in cases of cerebrospinal meningitis, CSM. The region recorded over 300 cases and over 44 deaths, prompting a visit to the region by then Deputy Minister and now Minister of Health designate, Dr. Bernard Okoboy. The Upper West region, due to its hot weather conditions, especially in the dry season, is considered by health practitioners as CSM zone. CSM is an airborne bacterial disease, usually caused by the Neisseria meningitis bacteria. This mainly causes an infection of the meninges, resulting in meningitis. It can also be caused by virus. Speaking in an exclusive interview with JoyNews, Deputy Upper West Regional Director of Health Services in charge of public health, Dr. Collins Boateng Dankwa, disclosed that the region, since the start of January, has recorded 81 suspected cases of the disease, 18 confirmed cases, and 4 deaths. All 11 municipal and districts in the region recorded cases except 2, Sisala West and West districts.
We have different strains. Out of the 18, 17 of them are Streptococcus pneumoniae. There's only one that is Neisseria meningitis. And with the Streptococcus pneumoniae, the case fatality, when I say case fatality, what I mean is the way it may cause death is low compared to the Neisseria meningitis, and that one we have reported only 1 case. But the Streptococcus pneumoniae, it spreads faster, so we need to adhere to certain protocols so that we don't get into an outbreak. Yes, so, and we have also recorded 4 deaths. 4 deaths. So with the 18 confirmed cases, if you want me to give you the breakdown, so we have 4 from Nandom, and then we have another 3 from Jirapa, and then we have Wild West 4, and then only 1 case, and then 1 municipal here 6.
Despite the cases recorded, Dr. Collins Boateng Dankwa explained that the situation is not alarming.
The region is currently not in an outbreak. So before you say you are in an outbreak, we look at certain things. So we look at your population and then your suspected cases. So when you come to Upper West like this, or when you look at it, we have what you call threshold, alert threshold, and then outbreak. So currently we are in the alert threshold. We are not in an outbreak yet.
He allayed the fears of the public that plans are afoot to deal with it.
No, Ghana Health Service, the interest is for us to detect or identify the cases early and then manage them. So as I'm talking to you now, the region has been supplied with adequate spinal needles. We use the spinal needles to do what we call lumbar puncture, and that is what we use to confirm or to know whether the person is in the probable stage or is having the disease. So we have adequate spinal needles to take cerebrospinal fluid from the spinal cord, which they have provided, and all districts are having them adequately to do the testing. And we have also been supplied with adequate logistics for gram staining before they bring the sample to the regional hospital for the confirmation. We do what we call gram staining at the district and then the health facilities, which they are having adequate logistics for that. We have been provided.
Dr. Collins Boateng Dankwa also spoke of preventive measures put in place to deal with it through sensitization and education of the general populace.
Talking to the public in terms of sleeping in well-ventilated rooms. You know, when you go to some of the communities, the ventilation level in the rooms are not all that adequate. So some of them have even now restructured their building by breaking some holes to create adequate ventilation, adequate fluid intake. You know, when you take the fluid well, that is where it will prevent the cracks. There will be adequate moisturization in your body or skin. And then finally, we are also talking to the general population to prompt or report to health facilities as soon as possible once they come out with the signs and symptoms of meningitis. Once you find out you have high-grade fever, an early onset of headache or unexpected or unexplained headache, and you find out that you have neck stiffness, quickly come to the hospital.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wa.
Rafiq Salam there from Wa. Now, Ghana's youth have been urged not to allow themselves to be used to foment trouble during the electioneering year. Speaking during a health and peace walk organized by a Wa-based youth group, Jongo Palace, Executive Secretary of the National Peace Council in the Upper West region, Emmanuel Dayoma, called on the youth to choose the path of peace and not to allow themselves to be used as instruments of distraction. Another report by Rafiq Salam.
Over 10,000 youth, drawn from over 100 youth groups and camps in the Wa municipality and beyond, took part in the health and peaceful walk codenamed Walk with Jonjo. This came on the heels of last year's successful event, which saw 70 youth groups participating in. The youth groups, majority of whom are from political parties, religious groups, professional organizations, and football supporters, took part in the event organized by the Wajangberi-based youth club, Jonjo Palace. The attendance was massive as most of the youth spilled all principal streets in the Wa Township. They walk, jog, dance and music played on sound systems, kept on tracks, and also from local drums. Convener of Walk with Jonjo, Baba Sadat, explained why they have embarked on the walk.
You know, as election is getting near, this is 2024, the incumbent MPP said they want to retain power and break the 8. The opposition NDC also said they want to wrestle power from the hands of MPP. And we are also in a war zone environment, surrounded by Burkina Faso, Togo, and Niger, and other Francophone countries. And definitely, if peace is not paramount, something must happen. And as we are getting into the election year, we need to position the youth as an agent of peace before, during, and after the elections. And that's the reason why we brought all these youth groups together to drum home the word of peace, so that they will know that before election, after election, whatever that happens, happens. And there's no need to, for chaos. People have to go about their normal duties and live in harmony.
Other organizers of Walk with Jonjo also too fed a light on the event.
We are all aware that if a country can grow, it is the youth that have to drive the peace of the car. That is the more reason why we have invited our security service, so that there will be a sense of harmony during and after elections.
In the circle of life, some moments stand out as extraordinary. Today, we explore the unique stories of first-time mothers who have welcomed their bundles of joy on the rarest of days, 29th of February. Joy Prime's Lois Adeyemi was at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital and has more in the following report.
Genevieve is brimming with loads of excitement. Excitement of being a first-time mother.
When I realized I was pregnant, I was so happy. Even my mom. Because we wanted a baby. Then he came.
But her joy of being ushered into motherhood is tinged with the anticipation of celebrating her daughter's birthday every 4 years.
Frank, I didn't want to give birth on 29th because it's actually a leap year which comes every 4 years. God has reasons for everything, that is what I think. Because everybody is celebrating the birthday on a normal day. Then you alone, you celebrate your birthday every 4 years. It's weird.
Abigail yearns for the joy of motherhood. She was due to deliver on 28th of February, but that did not happen. The 29-year-old is eager to welcome her little one on any day except the elusive 29th February.
29th Panday. Hey, I would love to celebrate every year, a memorable year of the pain I went through during this childbearing and everything. I want to experience it all over again every year. And look at the fact that I have to do that every 4 years. I wouldn't feel that feeling. I need to feel it each and every year.
But what if Abigail's baby refuses to be born in March?
Hey!
29.
Because I'm not told I'm not counting days. Hey! Because I can't take 29th. Hey! No, she didn't even say that one, that 29th. Yetra, we go to first match.
Well, for Sharifa, she cared less about the date. The moment she held her baby, all the pain seemed insignificant. Birthdays, leap years, it's all a background noise to the new mother. What matters to her is this little one in her arms.
I was not expecting it, but it happened. And I'm happy with it.
They have to see it as a special day, and they have to recognize it as such and be happy that they have delivered on that special day. And for the kids too, you have to accept it and also be happy that you have been delivered on that day, because it happens every 4 years and it's a special day.
In this maternity ward, new life begins its journey, and each birth a chapter in a unique story. Whether it is the excitement of a leap year birthday or the joy of a regular celebration, one thing is for sure: motherhood transcends dates and times. Lois Shola Adeyemi's report for Joy Prime.
Lois Adeyemi reports was a wonderful one. Now, that's how we wrap up for the AM News on the AM show. Up next is a news review. Please stay for that.